Hello YouTube, TurtleAgs here, bringing you another AFK journey video. Viewers in chat, you can say hi to YouTube if you'd like. Say hi to YouTube, your mom, your future self. And this will be a short and sweet video. Basically, after all my playtesting, I think there's really only one or two viable teams against King Croaker. Part of the problem is that you really need Coco to survive, and you do need Thorin to eat those one-hit KOs from the King Croaker. So for that reason, team building is extremely limited against this boss, which could be a good or a bad thing because these units are probably units you've already invested in. As per usual, I'm going to go over King Croaker's kit first. I think because all of you know what King Croaker does, so I'm just going to gloss over, just emphasize certain things, and then we'll do some playthroughs. We'll begin by going with the optimal playthrough, and then I will go over some free-to-play options. Alright, so let's get right into it. So King Croaker, just going over his kit, there's a couple main things here. This is one of the main mechanics where he shoots a magic bubble at the closest enemy, which in this case will be Thorin for our team. 15, 35, and 55 seconds into the battle, the target will be defeated outright if hit. So basically, Thorin gets one hit KO'd. And so any character that is capable of reviving or eating multiple KOs will be able to, will be key. But the thing is, I did try Brutus and I did try other units like that can block fatal blows, and it doesn't work against King Croaker. And so for this reason, unless you have Thorin, it's you're going to have your units are going to die way faster because every couple seconds one of your units get one-shotted. So Thorin is needed to eat those one-shots. We're going to have him form a pact with Coco. Coco is another unit who is extremely needed right now. As you saw earlier, actually I can back out for a moment. On the top left here, you'll notice that I'm on the epic part of King Croaker, but even before epic, you still need Coco to survive, unless you're like really high resonance level. But if your resonance level is high compared to King Croaker, then you're probably not pushing hard enough. So anyways, if you're pushing really high, then you will need Coco to survive. And then Smokey, of course, as the offensive healer to boost attack percentage of your DPS, who in this case will be Odie. Odie really looking real sick with his new skin. And then we have Rainier, of course, to reduce the damage that Odie takes, increase the damage that Odie does, and have King Croaker take an additional 25% increased damage. One thing to note is that Thorin happens to have more utility against Dream Realm bosses nowadays because of his season skill, where he is able to, with normal attacks, cause the target to take an extra 11% damage. So long as he continues to do normal attacks, this increased damage will reapply. Because Thorin will get KO'd at some point, so you will lose the season buff after 3 seconds. So just keep that in mind. As for the spells, I think that is probably where most of the variability comes in, because from my experience, Crescent Spell has done amazingly well with Odie, but because Odie and Rainier are the only two magic damage dealers, so I'm not entirely sure if you'll have 100% uptime on the 35% magic defense shred. Hey Turtle, I hope you're doing well. Is Epic just before Endless when the boss can't die anymore? Correct, Gesta, correct. Yeah, so as Gesta pointed out, Epic is one stage before Endless. And Endless, the developers were saying this is where Merrily and Corrin will finally shine because of the increased defenses. I am noticing that Merrily is finding more uses in the best teams against some of the Dream Realm bosses. However, against King Croaker, our space is incredibly limited, and we do need Coco. I think it'll probably be another 2 weeks before Merrily and Corrin see as much play as they did before the nerf. And actually, I can't even guarantee that. Definitely, until we don't need Coco anymore, I don't think we'll be using Merrily or Corrin as much. So if you were planning on using your Twilight essences to bring them to say like EX20, I would hold off on that until we're sure. As a matter of fact, I've been debating whether or not to invest more in my Supreme Arena teams, just because the rewards there are very nice. Like in my case, I'm getting about 8 Twilight essences per day, which is huge. I'm getting more Twilight essences per day in Supreme Arena than I do in the regular arena per week. So, anyways, I digress there. Other things to note is that King Croaker does do quite a bit of damage over time, particularly the water bomb shoots at the area with the most units. So I kind of wonder if it's best to kind of spread out your units a little bit so they don't all get water bombed. So maybe do something like that. Smokey will stay in place. Odie will be in the front. Actually, it might be best just to do this because honestly, you probably want your Odie to not be water bombed, and both him and Thorn will be in the front. So, if I wasn't running the Cascade spell, I would probably run the Evocation spell. The reason for that is because the Evocation spell has a perfect balance of offense and defense, where, first spirit, 45% damage mitigation, third spirit, leech rate, so it's very useful. Good morning, Fox. Good to see you. You're on YouTube right now. So, is there anything else about the King Croaker I should mention before we start? King Croaker does knock back melee units, knocking them back one tile and stunning them. Oh, actually, it's not just melee units, it's probably everyone. But anyways, let's get this showcase underway. So, after I go over this optimal option, I will go over some free-to-play options, or options for people who don't have Rainier Mythic Plus. So let's go ahead and get started here. So as you can see, the Crescent spell is renewing maybe every other second. So I do believe we are getting nearly 100% uptime on the magic defense shred, as you can see here. Yeah, our Crescent spell is constantly being activated, which is a very good thing. That means Odie is getting the damage that he wants. I should mention that if your Rainier is prone to dying, then Crescent spell might not be the best, because you do need at least 2 magic damage dealers in order for the Crescent spell to activate as often as it does, as you guys can see here. We're doing pretty well. We've crossed the 40% point. We still have 40 seconds left. I think my previous score was around 50%. As you can see, Thorin was eating up a bunch of one-hit KOs. But I think once Thorin dies, all our other units should stay alive. Okay, so very good. So we crossed the 12 bill checkpoint here. So this, I do want to emphasize, is the team that I believe is best, and I even crossed the 50%. So that's really awesome. As you can see here, Odie does a ton of damage, 8.4 bill. I mean, basically your Odie is hyper carrying your team. I think that's kind of the theme with a lot of these Dream Realm bosses. Now, there are Dream Realm bosses where we're seeing Odie, Cassidy, and Florbell, because people are finding that with Florbell's ult, she is able to bless everyone. I think Cassidy might also bless Florbell's supports. Maybe one of you guys can confirm or deny this, but that's in yesterday's runs. I was trying Cassidy and Odie alone, and Cassidy didn't do anywhere near as much damage as when Florbell was also in the team. Okay, so now that I've gone over the optimal team composition, I'm going to go ahead and go over the free-to-play option that I believe will do very well. Let me see here, free-to-play options. I do believe Cassidy will be the best free-to-play option. She kind of functions what Rainier functions in the previous team, where she is basically an enabler of the Crescent spell, which is needed to get Odie's damage output over the top. I'm on my challenge match to reach champion. Can you help me out? Absolutely, Lemon. So go ahead and submit your crew in the Discord channel in the account review section, and we'll go over that afterwards. Yeah, we're almost done with this video. So all right, so let's go ahead and let me just double check one thing here. I want to see if with her EX weapon she blesses non-summoned. Yeah, all allied heroes. So it includes summons as well. That's what makes Cassidy insane with Floribel. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So unfortunately, we can't bring Floribel here because we need Coco to survive. We need Thorin to survive, the one-hit KOs, and Smokey is the premier healer, and I do believe it's a good idea to bring at least one healer. So thank you, Lemon. Okay, so we'll go over that afterwards. I'm not going to show the other spells because I've playtested different spells already, and Crescent spell is the optimal one. If you want to try out other spells like Quick Spell, if say you're running a physical damage dealer, by all means, do that. But I do believe from my playtesting, Crescent spell is the best. And we're actually doing respectable damage here. Mind you, we did hit 12 build points, so if we can even do 11 build, I do think that this is an excellent alternative if you don't have Rainier Mythic Plus. Okay, not bad. So 11.7 build, not bad. 44.6%. Okay, and you'll notice that Odie did much less damage, but Cassidy kind of made up for a lot of that damage. As you can see, she almost hit 3 bill. So that's about it. Really only 2 teams I can really recommend for King Croaker. I do believe King Croaker, besides Snow Stomper, is one of the toughest Dream Realm bosses out there. So, it's really challenging to theory craft units when King Croaker is so specific. You do need Thorin. There is no replacement for Thorin. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next video.